Okay, so hopefully, it should be good. And let's quickly, so let me, yeah, and first and more thing, right? I want to thank you to, whoever has written the homework. I know it's not so good, you're not able to hear properly. Okay, so, thanks for your effort. Like I mean, it's for you. You'll be learning more on this. Okay, so please continue to concentrate on the homework. Okay. Okay, so let's quickly yeah, I know. I mean, this is okay. So okay, so today, so since we have, completed our, like, we know how to open a defect, so we found out, like, open defects. But let me quickly go through this, okay? Let me quickly check. So since we, we access this, URL, some people, I have not seen the homework, right? I mean, I have not seen yet. So let me quickly jump through this and, give some information. Okay. So people who were not able to find out, okay, you may, you might have found out I have not seen complete homework. Let's quickly. So this is the here. This is copyright 1997. Since we know that we are not living in 1997, right? We are in 2017. So this is an issue. So this is a bug, right? So this is a bug. This is outright straight a bug on your right in your face. You need to figure it out. This just opening this page, you need to figure out this bug, okay? Because just this is in front of your face. This is not 1997. Okay, this is that means the certificate. So for copyright, they have to install a certificate. Okay, so because you people were not able to hear, so I was being a little bit loud. Okay. Okay, so so I mean is like whenever you have this 1997, so you see this 1997, that means this is not 1997. See, if you go in the finance project, that's fine, but when you are going into when you are in a healthcare project, okay, so let's say you are in a healthcare project and these kind of issues, you cannot afford to have these issues. Why? Because it comes in the compliance issue. Okay, this is a compliance issue because how do you have a website which is outdated in 10 years back? Okay, you cannot have such kind of last updated. Okay, you don't care about this, but copyright is very important. You don't have this 1997, it's no longer in. So that is an issue. Okay, and let me give you one more issue that I'm not sure people have open or not. Okay, so here you see this, buttons, lot of buttons. Okay, 3 buttons. When you click on this browser test page, click on that, and you completely come to a new page. Fine. See this new URL. Good. But here you see whenever you hover your mouse over this image, okay, you just hover your mouse. It changes it to hand cursor. This is not really, this is not something which we really require. Okay, this might be a minor issue. Okay, that's fine. We don't worry about it. But the moment you click on this, whoa, HTTP. Whoa. So as a customer, as a user, I don't want this. So this is an issue, right? So remember, as as I told you, the first and foremost, as a tester, you are supposed to test as a user point of view, not not anything else. You need to test as a customer. Let's say you are the customer, you are facing some problem, so you need to report that. Okay, so that's how you need to test. That's why you are as a QA. So that's why they hire you, right? That's why they hire you to to make sure that the code is not broken. So this is an issue. This is a bug. Now, I open this bug as medium. Okay, so okay, it might go as high, depending upon the management. See, whenever I open defects, I make sure it goes to the management, right? I mean, see, when I was, in Barclays, like, I opened a defect which was not resolved in 6 months, and it went to a director and not sure what happened, and they changed the whole requirement. So that's the how you can you have to open defects. Why do you want such kind of? Because you need to survive in the project, right? The only way you can survive in the project is open issues, because you're a tester. They hired you for that. They hired you to open issues, right? If you're not doing the job properly, they will catch you. So it's your job. So if you open more issues, that's good. They cannot, remove you so easily. Why? Because nobody else knows how to open issues, right? You're the only one. You're a QA. You're a QA tester. Developer is not. Outright, the guy says, it's not my job, right? He's right. It's not my job. So it's your job to find the issue, okay? So always make sure such kind of issues never slips, okay? So these are very important. Okay, let's quickly check homework. We have 8 more minutes. Just quickly check. Okay. See, okay, here is the thing. To start with, whenever you open an issue, okay, you are not going to just open defect just like that. Okay, make sure you remember this, right? Make sure you remember this. Whenever you found an issue, report to your senior member. Who is your senior member? Lead. Or maybe report to colleague. Check with colleague, or maybe they might not help you that long, but check with your lead. Okay, check with your lead, or once you are good, if you are good in really calm skills, check with your dev, and dev will really they'll help you out. They are good, they'll help you out, or else always better. So once you open it, because not always it might be issue. Okay, as a QA tester point of view, you might be seeing as an issue, but as a business perspective, it may not be always an issue. Okay, so you need to remember that. Okay, so that's the reason. Just because you found a bug doesn't mean that it has to be a bug. Okay, you need to understand that. So good. I mean, always remember, need to confirm with senior member. Okay, to start with. Okay, so this is what I explained, but this is not what I'm looking for. That's right. So this is okay. This is a good thing. So this is not a bug. This is a feature. Okay. Why I'm saying this is a feature? Because I know the Baltimore address is completely different. They have their own way of the Baltimore zip code is different, and Florida zip code is different. I agree with that. Okay, but the client may not have that software to recognize that the backend tool. They need to have that tool to recognize. Okay, so this is not this appropriate zip code. Okay, this is not that pin. So so it has to show an error saying that okay, please please enter appropriate zip code. Okay, so okay, in that case, they might not have the proper tool, or so in that case you need to request to business analyst. Okay, this is more of a business analyst telling to them and making them understand, saying that hey, this is the issue what I'm facing. I'm using this Baltimore street address. The zip code pin is like completely different, and it's still allowing even if I'm putting the Florida address. So what is your take in this? Okay, how are you supposed to? Because customer might get. So in that case, you need to talk. You need to talk to whom? Business analyst. First, check with your lead. If you are just check with them, and once you're with good rapport, good build up, then you can also check with your business analyst. So they will let you know how to proceed that. Or they might open a new request or new requirement for that, saying that they have installed a new and they can. Okay, yeah, so that's good. Yeah, somebody open this. So this is what I was looking for. Okay, this is a bug. This is sure a bug. Okay, this is actually 2 bugs. Based on my experience. Okay, this is 2 bugs. What are 2 bugs? Let me quickly go through this. Okay, good. Somebody has opened that. Good. what are the two bugs? First, when I hover my mouse over this image, look at this. Look at this. I am hovering my mouse over this image. It is changing to hand cursor. No way it is changing. Look at this. I am hovering my mouse here at this image. It's not changing to mouse cursor. That's one. Okay. So that is first minor, very minor. Nobody cares about it. Still, it's a bug. I would take it as a bug. I've already opened that, and those are also fixed it. Okay, that's a different story. Okay, but as a QA point of view, as a tester point of view, I would consider as a bug, because I don't, which is not supposed to happen. I don't want it to be here, right? So if you hover your mouse, it does, the cursor changes into hand cursor. That is something which is not required. Okay, so the moment the image, okay, when I click on this image, okay, now again, this image is not clickable. This is not something which is Amazon. Okay, Amazon images are clickable, and even if it is clickable, it doesn't show this HTTP not allowed. So this is a bug. So two bugs. One is minor bug, very minor. Okay, change whenever you hover your mouse, change it to hand cursor. That's one. Second is whenever I click this and it's not supposed to get clicked, right? And it is getting this. So that's good. People have opened this bug. Good. So this is what I was looking for. This is a major. Okay, it's not. It might not be a major bug. Okay, it's okay. It's not. This is not a production issue or something, but something which is goes on. When something which you are doing some work. Okay, you may not see. This is something you are doing some work, but you are not always able to find these issues, right? But they hired you. They hired you to get the defects. They hired you to show them that something is always broken. You need to make sure that code is always broken, and you need to have this opinion that code is always broken. So then only you can open an issue. Once you open an issue, that's good. I used to say, it was like 1 week. I think in 1 week I opened like almost 8 defects. Okay, so that's like 1 defect per day. Okay, you don't always have defect. Okay, that's fine. I agree with that. But you need to find issues and open defects. So that's the major part of opening a defect. Okay, good. So let's move to the next quickly. We don't have much time. Okay, so this is good. So this is something which need to be, you need to talk to your lead saying that, hey, whenever I'm putting the at, without the at symbol, it's, the page is going through. So that is not acceptable. Or is there is a requirement? You need to check with your requirement. Where is the requirement? Requirement will be there in the SharePoint somewhere. Okay, so it will be in the SharePoint. And when you check with the lead, you'll say, okay, check with the requirement document. Okay, in the requirements not there, okay, check with the other document. Okay, we have also checked that, you find that. Then, you need to. So make sure you do all this homework. Okay, whenever you are trying to validate this, you need to compare it with something. And all the documents will be there somewhere, okay, in the SharePoint. You need to get access to that once you get the project, okay. So that is more important. So you need to read all these documents. Okay. Name should not contain. Okay, that's a that's a very good thing. Which in the name, you should not contain the numbers. That's a good, but I'm not sure, because it's not always. Maybe they also require some numbers in that, so maybe they'll put it. But that's right. You don't have You don't want numbers in the name, right? Nobody has numbers in their name, right? But there are situations where you actually require numbers, so maybe they won't want to change that. Okay, so there have come up with such scenarios where you have special characters in the name. Okay, there are people who has a special characters in the name. So in that case, you leave it. It's okay. I can take it. But yeah, that's right. Normally, you don't have numbers in the name. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so make sure always when you open the defects, okay, first and foremost, talk to your lead, talk to senior member, talk to developer, talk to business analyst, talk. Okay, you cannot directly go through manager. Manager don't appreciate all this at once. So make sure you have the proper communication around the team. So communication is the key. You found issues, good, but not always these are issues. Make sure you understand that. Not always these are issues. You need to check with them. If sometimes you need to have meeting because not everyone understands these issues. Okay, so you need to have meeting and you need to show the documents and this. You need to make sure, okay, these are not going as per the plan. These doesn't have in the requirement documents. These doesn't have in the test plan documents. We are not talking about this. All this should be should be done properly. So in that case, you need to check with your lead. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the. So today, we'll talk about. Okay, so we need to have, see, you know how to open defects, right? Now you have open defects, that's good. Now we'll go through, a test management tool. So why do we need this test management tool? Now you have opened this defect, but you cannot, tell each and every one, okay, I've opened this issue, please fix it, that might not be a developer issue. Sometimes it not be a developer issue. Okay, so you might just go directly and talk to them. It's not a very good idea always, because they might be busy and it's not. So what you are doing with this test management tool is, you are actually letting them know whoever is responsible for that piece of code or piece of a defect. Okay, so what you do is put their name and that's it. You're good. So they will check out from their end. So you don't have to tell everyone about it. It's already there in the tool. So everyone will be, looking into it. Your boss, so everyone has this access. Okay, this rally tool, everyone has access. Your boss has access, manager, scrum master, developer, testers, project architect, your ETL architect, QA architect, QA developer, everyone, whoever is working on it will have access to this tool. Okay, so this is what test management tool, Rally. So this is Rally. Okay, so this is a Rally, right? And it's mostly used in Agile, not in waterfall methodology. Waterfall, it's pretty much going outdated these days. Okay, okay, people are still using, that's fine. Still, it's being continued, that's fine. But here, this is more, fast-paced environment. Okay, so because today you found an issue, today it's fixed. Today you found an issue, by 2 hours, boom, it's done. Now you need to test immediately by end of today, and you need to, that goes into production by 2 days. Okay, so that's how the fast-paced environment. So here we use this Rally. This Rally is good. It's pretty much fast environment. So we'll go. Let's say So by today I'll be giving you access to this Rally. Let's quickly. I'll show you quickly. So I'll be giving you access to this Rally by today. Okay, let's say normally you'll be having that username and password. Okay, once you sign in, okay, so once you sign in, you need to figure it out which project are you working on. Okay, you need to know which project you're working on first thing. Now here is a plenty of, okay, here we only have 4, not plenty. Okay, okay. But real time will be having so many. Okay, expect there's thousands of projects going on. A lot of things happening, and they have sub projects and sub projects and a lot of things. Okay, so we need to figure it out which project we are working on. So let's say ours is this one, right? Go to February, and see I made it simple so not to get confused. But there will be have a lot of confusion. You need to check with your lead, or they might be giving you an option, or you need to check with your business analyst or product owner, because product owner is responsible for organizing all these user stories. Okay, so now let's say you have figured out which project you are working on. Now you need to come up with user story. Okay, now there's a lot of user story. Which one to say, which one to not? Okay, let me just quickly create a user story. Okay, I will not tell you how to create because this is not our job. Oops. It's changed. Good. Okay, very good. I found this. Okay, now what will I do is and let's me quickly change this. Okay, good. Okay, now we are good. Let's go to, okay, so that was not our part, so don't worry about it. So because this job is more likely and more to the business analyst point of view. Okay, product owner will be doing all these things because it's not our job to modify and use the story, right? Always remember, as a tester, as a QA analyst, okay, you're going as a business analyst, you'll be doing this, but since this class is not about business analyst, so we'll be working on QA. Okay, so let's say you are business analyst, okay, not lead, business analyst, completely different guy or different person. He actually created a user story, and he or she told you, okay, this is the user story you need to work, which is on US 139 GMO website. Okay, now you click on that. Oh, go back. Okay, so okay, so this is the user story, right? So not always. Okay. Okay, so here you have this. This is a user story, and many people will be working on it. Okay, but you will be the sole person who will be working on it, and the owner of this user story is business analyst, not you. Okay, remember that, not you. You are a QA. You are not the owner of this user story. Okay, now I'll just put it as in progress. That's good. Okay, now. So I made it simple, right? What I'm saying in the description is go to this URL, that's demo.borland.com, okay, that's whatever it is. And I'm saying verify all functionalities including edit. Okay, this is easy. Why? Because I wrote it as a QA point of view, but as a business analyst, and this user story is being accessed by so many people. It has been accessed to the developers, it has been accessed by the architects, it's been accessed by the managers, it has been accessed by the project owners, lot of people, QA. So don't expect very easy information here. There are a lot of information. I don't know, I mean, like two, three paragraph of information, but not always related to as a QA point of view. Know this, okay? They might not even have the screenshot. They just put the information. You need to read and understand what is required as a QA point of view. Okay, so make sure you understand, read and understand what is required as a QA point of view. Not always the information will be useful. Why? Because that has been made in sense of everyone. Everyone will be accessed, everyone will be reading it, everyone will be using it, right? So don't expect very easy information here. Okay, so it will be never easy because that has been made for everyone. Okay, so once, let's say you have recognized all those things and you're good and you understood all these things and you found out, okay, so this is the page I need to test. Okay, that's good. Now let's move to the next. So as a QA point of view, first you need to create task. Why do you need a task? Okay, you may not always require task. Personally, I want to organize my work. Let's say I have lot of, lot of work to do. I have a lot of work. I have to do functional testing. I have to do regression testing. I have to do performance testing. I have to do, integration testing. I have to do incremental integration testing. I have to do. So I have a lot of work to do. I have like six, 7 things on my head, and I need to do a lot of things. And my boss told, okay, this should be done by, by, I don't know, 2 days. It's done. So a lot of work. So I want to prioritize my work. Okay, let's say. So what I want to do is I want to create tasks so that I want to know which work has been completed and which is not, right? So that's the reason I use this task. It's just for organizing. If you're good without organizing, if you think you can do it, it's up to you. It's optional. Optional from my point of view. It might be recommended from kind of perspective. Just make sure you know what you're doing. But I always recommend to have this prioritize your task. Not always. It might be useful at some places. Okay. So let's quickly add a task. Okay. So what I'll do is now I'm working on functional testing. So functional testing for GMO online. Okay. And I want to add some information here. So just put this in progress. Make sure you put it in progress. Task estimation. Okay. Let's take. I'll take this 10 hours. Okay. Just cover. Okay. Just put some description saying that functional testing for. So I'm doing functional testing, right? So so I'm putting functional testing for GMO online. Okay. So I want to do regression, I want to do performance, I want to do a lot of things. So we just stick to one thing for now. And if you want to expedite, so if somebody else is involved, you can expedite or just put it the same way. And so I guess this gets saved automatically. This put is ready. So this is ready. We're good. And I want to create this right away. Good. So done. Okay, good. So now I have created a task. Okay, I created a task for functional testing for GMO online. So this is a QA point of view. Okay, so the QA will be actually working on this task, and everyone have access. Most importantly, your boss, your boss or your manager has access to this, and they will see what you are trying to do. So make sure you're all So you need to know that you're always monitored. Whatever you do online, whatever you do, you are always being tracked. So make sure you do it right first time. There's no second time. First time you need to do it right. Okay. So here, you might create multiple tasks, functional testing for GMO, regression testing, okay, and so on. You can do it the same way. Go ahead and create a name here, and you can create. Okay. So that's up to you. If you want to create tasks, it's up to you. But I'm not much worried on this task. It's for organizing. Of course, it's good. You need to organize. You need to always organize. It's good. Why you need to organize? Because let's say you're working on 3 to 4 projects, and you have 3 to 4 projects, and 3 to 4 projects you have to do functional testing. You have to do smoke testing. You have to do sanity testing. You won't know what's going on, right? So in that case, you need to organize. So you are sure what you are trying to do and how much work is left. Okay. So always good to organize. Okay, let's go to our test cases. So this is what we'll be doing here. Okay, so pay attention on this. Okay. Okay, good. Now, we know this. Okay, any questions so far? Anything about this rally? Again. Okay, good. That's right. You need to create tasks for yourself. Why do you need this? To track your work. Okay. See, not always. So it might be useful for some client. Some client recommends to you do that, and you need to do this. It's mandatory. But in some place, it's not mandatory. So are you recommended to always maintain this? This is to organize yourself. So yes, it is for you to organize your work. It's up to you. There's no like recommended, limit, like, you need to create 2 tasks or 3 tasks. It's up to you. But here is the catch. Here's the catch. The user stories time should not exceed what's time. So you're spending 10 hours. So that means, that when you decide in project planning, okay, it's not supposed to exceed the amount of time what is recommended. So let's say this is 10 hours. So you have spent all the time for 10 hours. There's no other time left. So even if you're creating any task further, you cannot add more because you're not able to work on that because the time is finished here itself. So make sure you prioritize your time too. Okay. So there is no limit to create any number of tasks. You can create any number of tasks, but make sure you're doing in a time limit. Okay. That user story is supposed to be done in 1 week. Okay, let's say 1 week. And you cannot consume more time than that. Okay. Okay, so once you complete this task, you see this button. Okay, so somebody asked, right, what we are going to do after we complete task? Who is going to see? That's a good question. Who's going to see? All this is being tracked by your manager. Even if you're not manager, somebody is reporting, lead or your project manager. So they are going to track. So once you click on this, the moment you click on this, that means it's completed. That means you're done. Okay, you're good. So once you have completed this, it automatically gets updated since this is an UI tool. I mean, this is an online tool, right? It gets updated and your manager says, oh, you have completed this. Good, 10 hours. So why are you, completed this 10 hours? Why did it take too long? Okay, so that's a different thing. But here you click on complete, that means it's going complete. Okay, so there is, so everyone knows that. And whatever you're doing here, everyone knows that. Make sure you're doing it right. Don't mess up with anything because everyone is watching you. Okay. So, okay, let's go to test cases pretty quick. Maybe. Okay, so I'll take some 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so everyone okay with that? Because I'll just complete this pretty quick. I know I'm already fast, but I want to finish this. Okay. So let's say you have this test cases. Go to the test cases module. You see this, all the information is lined up, up, what we call this menu bar, or just down to the menu bar. You have this tab kind of, this tab where you have details, task, children. This kind of tab, right? It's a good tab inside the tool. Okay, and defects, discussion, revision, dependencies, charts, test cases. Here is the thing. Here's where our job starts. Now, let's say you want to write your test cases. Now you need to start writing your test cases. We are in this phase and you need to start writing. So what you're going to do is hover your mouse over this action. Okay. You don't even have to click it. Okay. Just hover your mouse, click on new test case. Click on that. And this window suddenly shows up. And here, okay. Okay, good. Now we'll go, each and everything with this. So here you're writing a test case. Remember, we need to write this test case. And we want to write this functional testing for GM Online. So we want to make sure that we are writing functional test cases for now. Okay. So this is up to you. I want to. Okay, good. Okay, if you have attachments, you can attach. So normally you don't have this attachment, but it's up to you if you have some really documentation. And the owner, remember, the owner of the test case is always a QA. QA guy, QA tester, QA analyst, software analyst, software tester. Where the owner of a test case is always a, okay. They have developer may also have a test case of their own. So they might be testing their own unit testing. So you know that, right? Unit testing, white box testing, they have their own testing. Okay, so they may or may not have their own test cases. Okay, so they will be having their test. We are not worrying about those. We are worrying about ourselves. So this, as a QA point of view, test cases of QA will be the owner. Is always a QA. Okay. So objective. What is the objective for this? We can just write objective is testing all testing all functionality features of So now what product is automatically linked. If it is not linked, you can go ahead and click on this, and we can search for that, and you can link here. There's a lot of things here. See this 432 user stories, and not exactly user stories, but work products, a lot of work. So if you know the number, just like US 139, you want to search. So good, so it's the kind of things you can search and you can get that information. Otherwise, stick to this work product, whichever you are belonging. You need to check with here, and you can change the work product type of testing. So here we'll stick to functional testing. So there are so many, as I told you: acceptance, performance, regression, usability. So we'll stick to performance. Method, so there are two: manual as automated. We'll stick to manual. Priority, I go to the important. So risk, medium. Okay, preconditions. So here we know preconditions. What will I be writing is code should be deployed in QA. So without this, we are not going to test. And smoke testing should be done, and the code should be deployed in QA environment, right? Okay. Anything else if people think of? Because this is precondition. Before that, this work should be done. Okay, you cannot start testing just like that. So this thing should be should be completed. Code should be deployed. So if you are testing in QA, of course, the code should be deployed. If you are testing in dev, see, normally even if you are testing in the dev environment, the code should be deployed in the dev environment. See, normally when the developers do coding, right, they do in the local, their own machine. So once it gets successful, then only they put the code into dev environment. Okay, so you can see, not even going to dev environment just like that. They are doing their own testing. They are into local machine. That local machine, they're putting the code into dev environment. Once it gets approved from the dev environment, it will go into the test environment, because there are instances where the code is breaking dev environment, and a lot of things happen. So that code doesn't go just like that. It goes a lot of filtering process. Okay. Now let's move to the validation input. Let's quickly write a test case here. So here, validation input. So we'll just put that enter. Be just more specific here. So make sure you guys be specific. The more specific you are, the better the results will be. So let's say I'm testing in Chrome browser, not in IE, not in Firefox, not in Safari, not in any other browser. I'm testing in Chrome browser. So what I'm trying to say is, enter URL and Gmail. There's an expected is page is navigated to home page of GMO online. Okay, this is my validation. Let's quickly put post conditions. What is post conditions? code should be deployed. Okay, so this goes into regression testing. See, once the regression testing is done, then it goes to production. So we'll just put it to production. Oh, so regression testing should be completed, and then okay. So this is my post condition. If you guys know better, let me know. So I'll add more. There will be more than this. There are like a lot of 3, 4, 4 to 5 things. Okay. So we just now it's good. Okay. Now let's write our test cases. Okay. Now you have steps. Okay. So you see the steps. You have this small icon here. Add action steps. Go ahead and click on that and click on one. See here, there's a drop down box here. Okay, so you are saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you say 5, then 5 will show up. 5 boxes show up. So let's take to one by one. Okay, let's go one by one. Click on one. And once you click on that, okay, good. Now I got this one box. Okay, so I mean 2 boxes. Input and what is expected. You see this? Here you see this input and what is, so it's like kind of like what is actual or expected, right? And I mean this is what you're trying to do and what is expected result of your trying to do. Okay, so that's the actually the input. What are you trying to input and what is the result? Okay, so now we have already given some information here. Oops. Okay, here we have already put the validation input and validation expected result. Now we are going to be, let's say let's say our application is ready in this project, but not always similar situations happen. Every project everything is completely different. So let's say application is ready. So we are trying to write test cases based on this application. Okay, so I am writing a test case for this button, just for this button, and clicking this button. What happens after that? So I'm clicking, this button, enter GMO online button. Okay, so I'm going to write that, right? So once I open this, that means once I enter this URL, page is navigated to home page of GMO online. So this is the home page of GMO online. Now what I'll be writing is click on enter GMO online. Button. This is a button. So what I'm trying to do is I'm writing a test case saying that click on enter GMO online button. Okay, what happens after this is page is navigated or redirected. Okay, so we'll just put as navigated to what page? We have this page number, online catalog page. Okay, so I'm taking this online catalog because see the URL also says that, right? So I just take it as online catalog page. Okay, online catalog. Okay, it's good. Okay, we are successfully written one test case. Now let's move. Okay, let's put this declaration. Okay, now let's I need to write more test cases, right? One is not enough. No, you see here you need to write up 10, 20 test cases, not more than 20 for one set. I don't want to write more than 20 because it's a too labor. It's kind of laborious one. You don't want to do that. No, you need to be smart and simple. You need to make it. The more smartly you work, the better the results will be. Okay. So always, make sure don't go beyond 20, even, for one test case, you have the sets. Let's say you have 20 test cases for Chrome, you have 20 test cases for IE, you have 20 test cases for Safari, you have 20 test cases for Firefox. So it's like that. Okay, you don't want to go beyond 20, 22, 23. So it's not good, because you already have to execute so many test cases, right? You don't have that much time, so you don't want to do that many test cases. You need to little bit work smart. Okay. So now you have created one test case. Now go ahead again, click on that to create one more. Click on this action step. Click on that. Again, you get this drop down box. Again, it's up to you. Now I'll go just one. Okay. Now see this. I've got number one. So this is input number one. This is input number two. Now what I'm trying to do is, I'm putting some value here. Let's say I'm putting this 10. Okay, so 3% don't 10. So I'll just put okay. So here you enter the field value for order quantity for 3% DOM tents. Okay, so you can be better, you can write better English. You can just write as enter. Yeah, you need to write this order quantity 10. Okay, so what you're trying to say is enter the field value for order quantity. Don't want to use this for again. Okay, let's say I'll just put this in this bracket for now. 3% DOM tent as 10, and click on place on. So what I'm trying to say is, like, now I want to put this 10 in the 3%, 3% DOM tent, and once I put this 10, I want to click this button, place an order. Okay, so what happens after this is page is navigated to so you see, because we know this application very well, so we are able to write it, but not always these scenarios will exist. Yeah, it can be any number. Say here this number is, as for a testing perspective, you can put 99, you can put 100, you can put whatever the value you want. But here what I'm trying to say is just you are trying to enter some value here. Okay, so we are doing positive testing here. Positive is like whatever the values we are putting. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that's a positive value. So we are putting this number. So you can put any number, or not only just a number, you can just put a character, any character, like alphabets can start with, but that is negative testing. Okay, so we are just moving in positive here. And place order page. Page is navigated to place order page. Okay, and that's a very good question. See here. Okay, so yeah, somebody asked, right? So if you want to test, okay, so you want to test it, but we want to test like number 1, you want to test for number 2, you want to test for number 3. So that will be 100 test case. That's a very good question. So again, back to my point. Okay, back to my point. Work smartly. Okay, so here I've just given you example as a 10. So it don't have to be 10. You can perform your all the testings, 1, 2, 3, but you don't have to specify here explicitly, or you can just put as just put as some information here. Note as enter all values up to 1,000 or 10,000 and verify it. Entered all negative values. Enter special characters. So here you can specify some information saying that I don't want to create bunch of test cases just to put just some number, just I'm putting just one number, so it doesn't have to be one test case, two number, second test case, third number. No, we are not working that laborious way. We want to work smart. So here what you're trying to put is we are putting some information here that we have tested with this. We have entered all the values up to 1,000 and verified it. Enter negative values. See, again, negative should be a different test case, but just to make it simple, okay, output. But negative should be always a different test case. Okay, so enter special characters. Okay, so we have putting some information here so that whoever sees this test case, see, not even the boss, you may not always may not be scrutinized by the boss. Sometimes audit reviews. They will have audit reviews, right? What happens in audit reviews, they will see each and every test case, or may not, they just pick up some random test case and see, okay, where is the values for other? Then you need to explain, because they come to you saying that, okay, where are the test case for 1,000? Where are the test case for? Okay, so make sure you enter some information. If you have tested it, make sure enter some kind of information like this, saying that I've entered all this and verified it. I also entered the negative values. I've entered these special characters. Okay. Any more questions on this? Okay. Now page is navigated to place in order. Okay, good. Now successfully created second test case. Now we'll go to the third. Again, go ahead and click on action step. Click on that. And I want to go as click on one. Okay, so this time this actually a little weird, right? I mean, first test case is fine. Click on GM Online, but this is supposed to be a second test case. Move to third. That is not something we want, right? And this is not second. This is third test case, but it moved to second. So it has just garbled, my. I'm trying to organize these things into proper way. It's a garbled. So what we can do is, you have this option here. These two boxes. Just make sure hover your mouse over this action menu. You have two icons: add steps and action menu. Click on action menu, and you want to move this step down, because this is not my second step. This is my third step. So this is if you so here I'm good. I've got this test happen. So to avoid this confusion, make sure once you put two test case, you can start writing this, add action step right in this box, so that it makes steps one after the other. Okay, so you don't want to do every time you get this thing gets garbled. You don't want to do it again and again. Just want to use this option located this field right side in the upper corner. Okay. Now writing the third test case. Now I want to click on proceed with click on proceed with order. Okay, and the page is navigated to billing and information page. Billing information page, okay. So just because we are writing these test cases doesn't mean we are only testing one button there, okay. We need to test each and every See, again, in this page, you need to test each and everything. You need to test this logo, you need to test this URL, you need to see. I'm not writing these test cases, and it's not really required to. Why? Because you cannot be more detailed in test case. You can just write this information like this, just test it. You can just put it here somewhere like, tested for logo, tested for URL, tested for all fields located in that page, and tested for negative values, tested for you can keep on writing this, just one page, that should be good. Okay, but you need to test each and every functionality of this application. Okay, we cannot just leave just like that. Just because I'm only testing one button doesn't mean I'm only testing one button. Okay, you need to test each and every page here. Okay, so we are good with this. Now I want to write. Okay, you just fill up all this information here. And I'll just so here again I want to write one more test case, right? Click on this action, add action step, which is located right in the two boxes. You have just two fields, right, located into right side, the two icons, small icons. Add action step, click on that and click on one. See, why are we using this? Because to avoid the garbled test case, we don't want, again, if somehow the field shows up in between, we don't want that, right? We want to be at the, we are organizing this one test case, later second test case, so we don't want in between. We want this, one after another. We need to organize this. Okay, let's put this for test case. Enter all the information. In the building information page, and click on place the order button. Okay, and so again you need to do all this. You need to test for each and every page. You need to test for the URL. You need to test for the logo. You need to test for all the fields that are located in this page. You need to test for images. Make sure you put that too. Images, field values. Everything you need to test. As a tester, you need to think this copyright values should also be tested. Okay, yeah, so we missed yesterday's class, right? So I'll just show you once we finish this. Okay, negative values. Okay, good. Okay, yeah, we missed it yesterday. I'm sorry, on Friday. Friday was not good, right? Okay, let's see. Place the order. Click on place the order. Yes. Online store receipt. Okay. So page is redirected to online store receipt page. Okay. Okay, good. And now I want to write one more test case. Click on this again. Add action step. And I want to click one again. I don't want like bunch of test case one after another. Just how much I want to use, and I'll just keep on using. So it's up to you. How do you want to use it? Exactly. So somebody asked, right? So we are seeing this, right? So, somebody asked, right? So that's a very good question. Somebody asked, we know, we are clicking here, so we know this expected result. But how are you going to see that? Right. In real time, you will not have this. In real time, you will be whole and soul based on the documents, requirements. Whatever the requirement says, you need to follow that. Okay. You may not have so luxurious like what you are having here. Okay. You will never have it, or sometimes you might. Okay. So maybe you need to be very lucky for that. So these buttons, all this should be there in the documents. Okay. And documents will contain some screenshots. Documents contain some information here. Okay. So you may not have this exact information, but they will give you some amount of information that will be enough to write your test case. Okay. Does it make sense? So yeah, don't expect oops, sorry. Don't expect luxurious life as we are having here. It's not always what you're going through. This is not what we'll be having. Okay. So this is easy pretty much. So but you need to write based on the documents, not based on the application. Now, button, and what happens is, again, we need to list all this. Okay, make sure you try to do this, and okay, page is redirected to home page. And click on this. Yes, that's right. We're going to the home page. Okay, and the URL, if you want to specify the URL, you can go to specify that URL. Okay, and click on Save and Close. It's good. You're good. Okay, so we have successfully created a test case here. Okay, just quickly, 5 to 10 minutes. Does anyone have any issues? I'll just finish this. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, so now we have just completed a test case. Okay, you have just wrote a test case, but the testing is not yet done. Testing is not yet done. We have just written a test case. Now you need to execute this test case. Okay, so how do you execute this? Again, we are in the same page, so no need to worry. You are in test case. You have this icons located into right corner, which is like corner of this field. Just a little bit down to the actions. You have these 3 icons located with the cross and tick mark. This is the result, which will generate the result. And this is edit. If you miss something, if you have not written something properly, you have a chance to edit it using this icon. You can click on that. And if you want to copy a test case, you can use this icon. Click on that. Okay, we want to execute this test case. What we are trying to do is execution. Because you have written a test case, you need to make sure and tell your manager and tell everyone in the team people saying that this test case is passed, or this test case is failed, or this test case is inconclusive. Okay, whatever the information you need to do it right from here. Okay, you need to generate a test case result. Click on this. Okay, good. The new page shows up. Build. Check with your lead. What is the build? We'll just put this 22 for now. Verdict. Here is thing. Is it pass? Is it fail? Is it error? Or we'll just put it pass for now. When was this executed? This is the day and this is the time. Okay. Who is the tester? You are responsible, or okay, if you are not responsible, there's some QA guy, QA team people will be responsible for this. Attachments. Make sure you have this attachment. Duration. Just put us 2 hours. Okay. Attachment. Make sure you have this attachment. Okay, I have not discussed about this attachment because of time constraint, but I'll just quickly go to that. Okay. This. Okay, good. Attachment. Make sure you know why do we need this attachment, because your boss want to see your result. So let's say you have tested it and suddenly there's a production issue. Some dev guy just wanted to they just found an issue and just reported to your manager directly. Just went through the manager, emailed your manager saying that this is the issue. Now you are the one who will get catched, right? Production issue, you are the one who will get catched. So, suddenly your boss calls. Can you stop by at my desk? Now, when you're going there, your boss sees all this information. Okay, there is a production issue, right? So there is an issue, and where is the result for this? Where is the documents? You didn't show any documents. How do I know you have tested? You have just filled up information, but how do I know? So make sure you put the screenshots, whatever you tested. Okay, so I'll show you how to do this just quickly, 2 minutes time, and you'll be good. Just takes forever. Okay, let's say you have created this, and you just put a screenshot here. What you're trying to do, next put this print screen. Okay, you put this in, right? Just put this in and print screen. All this work you need to document it. Okay, click on this, place an order, screenshot, and screenshot. That's what you need to do. Oops. See this. Okay, fill all the information. Just quick screenshot here. Okay, click on this. Place an order. Oops. I will use this screenshot. Good. I'll use this. And make sure you have all these documents, right? Whenever you are trying to do, because if there is any issue, you need to save this. Functional testing, doc. So this is the result. Let's put in the result. Okay. Now you have a good, you have good reason to explain to your boss, saying that, hey, I didn't find this issue. Maybe dev guys, change the code in between. I have all the documents here. Please check all the screenshots. Now you have a good upper hand saying that you're talking to your manager, right? Now you say, look at my screenshots. I never found that issue, right? Just quickly check in your desk. Say that okay, this is the issue they found, and you uploaded the right screenshot. And oops, staying too long. Okay, good. And we just put out the result. So, okay. So make sure you always document your results. Okay. Once you document this, okay, you will have a better, better explanation to your boss when issue shows up, because you're good. You have shown this result. You can, tell them to check. You can check your work. They can check your work. Okay. So yeah, there was no issue at that time. How come it has shown up? Just like that. So they will take care of it, and it will be their issue. No more ours. So make sure you always have this ready. Okay. So put that attachment always. Results attachment is. I tell you that I didn't explain much detail. I didn't go through in detail of that, but I would highly recommend to put all the evidence. What are you doing? What are you working on that? Okay. So that it's good to save yourself when it comes to you. Okay, any questions so far? So now, if you suddenly the plus icon shows up, and click on that. Here you see this successfully executed test case for GMO Online. If you want to see these documents, what have you tested? What really have you tested? Where is the evidence for this? And this is the evidence saying that I have tested whatever the screenshot they have, I didn't find any issues of that kind. And we have tested everything, so we are good. It's not problem from our side. It's a problem maybe something else. Okay, so that's how you need to do when you're testing. So make sure you do all this. You need to put your documents ready, screenshots and all those things should be there. Any questions so far? Okay, so yeah, somebody quickly I'll go through this. Somebody asked, right? So we want to show someone that negative values. How do we do this negative values? Okay, let me quickly go through this. Okay, so we have this, right? So this is order quantity. Quantity, you said quantity. So quantity is always in positive orders. That is numbers. 1, 2, 3. Other than numbers, okay, not exactly other than numbers, but not excluding 0, -1. So those are numbers, but not exactly that. But quantity in positive. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So other than that will be a negative testing. Okay, so -1. So that's a negative testing. We are not having the quantity of -1, right? So that's negative. And other than numbers, alphabets, A. Okay, that's also negative testing. So other than what the numbers is, it is there, it is called negative testing. So that is negative testing. Positive testing is 1, 2, 3, so on. Until this in stock 23. If it reaches beyond that, that's no more good, because it will take more. So that's not good, because it's the limit is 23. You cannot go beyond 23. So that's also a defect. Okay. And boundary values is if you are entering 0, 0.1, this is our boundary values. So these 3 types of scenarios you need to always make sure. Okay. Any more questions so far? So that's about native. Just quickly somebody wanted to show native testing, so we just, because Friday we didn't have good, right? So, okay. Any more questions on this rally? Creating test cases. We have just 2 minutes. Just let's close, because I know you guys have class. So maybe we just close quickly. So by today, I'll be giving you homework. I'll be giving you access to this rally. Make sure you do the homework. Some guys have already done. It's good. Even if it's the video, the audio was not good, the video was not good, people still have done. It's very good. Continue to do that. It's for you. You need to learn. Okay. Okay. If no one has any questions, can we close this class for today? Okay. Thank you, guys.